Hello everybody and welcome to Roshem Joe Gaming. Today I'm going to be running the Hull A from Levski over to Port Tressler, hauling some mold and frozen bodies because that's what they're paying me to do. So let's do it.
Let's go.
So a couple notes of preparation here. If you haven't set your regen spot in Levski and you want to do this the way I'm doing it here, make sure your regen is set to MISC Hospital in Levski. And then if you don't have a Hull A, head down to Cheech's ship shop, which can be the elevators that go from customs or from hangars will go there. You get rental or purchase options for the Hull A, which is nice. The rental, I believe, is 68. Let's see if I was right. Just did this a minute ago. So yeah, so 68,000 for a day. Multiply that. I think you get a discount, but in general, you'll make that back in a single run. The purchase is going to be more like 1.7, and the advantage to that is if you end up purchasing, you can swap out the quantum drive for a faster quantum drive. Is that needed? Not necessarily, but it's nice to have. So the terminal for the ship parts is a couple feet away from the purchase. You would purchase, run over here and grab, I believe it's the Colossus is the quantum drive. So that being said, just be careful when you are replacing these. You want to go to your ship manager, which is in your Mobiglass. And while I don't have the Hull A because I just claimed it, same thing for the Golem here. Any ship, you go to propulsion first, unequip the jump drive so that it doesn't stick to your quantum drive when you move the quantum drive. Swap the quantum drives, then go back to propulsion and re-equip it and save it, and then you should be good to go. So since the Hull A is probably the largest ship I've got, I've still got a small hangar, which is nice. Doing this in an extra large would be kind of annoying, but you know, it is what it is. So retrieving the Hull A, and while that's happening, I'm going to run over here to the freight elevator. And the two missions that I'm going to be looking for are under, obviously, the priority, and one of them will be this 83,000, and that is to move the mold, I think. And there's going to be another one that is 80,000, and that is to move the 12 SCU cryopods. So grab those two, and then jump onto your cargo elevator, send it down, and you'll see there's the two right there. So we're just going to send that down, bring it up, and then I'm going to start loading it up. So I love the Hull A. It's a great little ship. It moves 64 SCU of cargo, 32 per side. The one thing it does have is it has this forced entry, which I'm used to at this point because I have a prospector as well. And it's still quicker to get into than most ships. Something you need to watch out for is this fire extinguisher to the right. I have probably like 4 or 5 in my inventory because I pick it up every time I go sit down. What I'm going to be doing though is lifting off and moving myself closer to the cargo elevator, as well as deploying the spindles so that I can load this guy up. Alt plus K, left alt that is, plus K, is the hotkey, I think by default, to open the spindles. And then, like I said, I'm just gonna, park a little bit closer so that I can sling these faster. If for whatever reason you can't get out of your ship because the airlock opens but you don't get the exit ship prompt, sit back in the pilot seat and do a open all, and that will open the airlock and this door, and you could just jump out. It's only happened to me once, and I think it's usually on the server side, but in general, if it happens, there you go. So like I said, just gonna load these up and then we'll get in the quantum. So as I leave my hangar, I always go up and then aim down. Typically it's slightly to the left, but it's going to depend on which hangar you've got. There aren't too many waypoints in MISC right now, so it's usually easy to find. If not, you can always go to your map. So quick little jump here, and we'll head to the gateway. When we arrive at Stanton Gateway, typically if you pull up, you should see right there all of the markers towards the actual jump point. So as we approach the jump point, we are going to see calibration messages. This makes sure that you have a jump drive and also that you have enough fuel to make it through the jump. From here, at the second point, you will be able to left click and it will send out a beam or a blast or whatever it does to open the jump point for you. And from here, we just wait until the jump point pulls us in on its own. Don't need to push forward, don't need to back up, just wait. Now you'll note that at the bottom of the screen there is another person entering the jump point at the same exact time as me. The only thing I want to make sure I don't do is exit in the same direction in roughly the same place, because it is possible that causes a collision, and then no one's going to have a good day. So as we exit the tunnel here, being sure to not aim for the other ship, we can tell that we have arrived back in MISC where we started. This is just an unfortunate bug that happens once in a while. I ran through this tunnel 10 times, no issues. Now I hit it, but I left it in here just to show you it's not the end of the world, but you do typically come out 100 to 200 kilometers away from the station, so you want to find that, jump over there, and head right back into the tunnel. As you can tell, we have safely arrived in Stanton, and now we are going to be aiming towards that microtech drop-off point. Unfortunately, there's so many things over there that it's kind of a cluster just to be able to focus in on any one thing. And in the map, sometimes for whatever reason, when you try to plot, it will drop the coordinate right there. So if that happens, I just aim for something close enough, and then I'm going to travel for a while. And once I get closer, then just navigate from there. So you'll see. So it takes about, I think, 6 minutes, if I remember correctly, to go from MISC over to Microtech. During that time, you can look for other contracts to pick up. I would recommend sticking, since you got a Hull A, first off, with the smaller ones that only require you to move, 6 to 12 SCU at a time. But there are medium runs. However, the medium runs take a lot longer and don't necessarily pay off as far as the points you get. But if you're looking for something to do, you can always grab those. Now, what I was looking for was the Hull C runs, and there's a total of 3 Hull C runs that I know of, and that is from Levski to Port Tressler for 619,000, which I have had lots of success with. However, there are 2 in Stanton, which you can load up on the same ship, and that is one from Port Tressler for 557,000, and then another from Everest Harbor for 619,000, something along those lines. However, when I get back to Levski, typically I can't unload those, and I'm not doing it by hand. So If you're going to pick those up, just be careful, knowing that you might end up with a full ship and nowhere to put it. That was close enough to Mike L1, and now we are going to move towards Microtech. Still can't go to beat on it because of the mining bases, but luckily now we're able to plot, so we'll do that, and then we'll get over to New Babbage. So when I'm landing the ship, I like to land perpendicular to the cargo elevator door. That way I can grab them and pretty much just shoot the box or cryopod straight forward without having to turn right or left. Don't let go of the beam, as there's a chance that if you do, your box will bounce and end up on the other side of the wall and you will never be able to retrieve it, and then you'll have an incomplete order. So just be careful when you're doing that, but it shouldn't take too long to unload. So as we send them down, we're going to jump into our journal and into Alliance Aid, and I'm going to show you that I'm at 8355 right now. These combined are worth 795, and anyone you've shared them with in a group, if you happen to be in a group, will get that 795. They're also worth 163,000 credits, but that money is split between however many people are in the party. It is way faster to get this done through a group, so I recommend doing that. But if you're doing it by yourself, you do have that Hull A for another 23.5 hours, and the rental's already paid off. But you got to run this about 13 times total. That said, quickest way back to Levski is to hold backspace, since you set your regen there, and you will wake up in MISC Hospital, and you can start all over again. If you enjoyed this kind of content, let me know by liking, subscribing. If you have any questions, let me know. I will do my best to answer them. And other than that, I will catch you in the next one. So long.